Aloha. Mike Wellman has this shop tucked away in Waimea Valley of Kauai's west side. There, he makes these beautiful surfboards, some of the most masterful I've ever seen. He runs his plane over the large foam surfboard, and snow-like flakes of white foam spray in the air with each pass. It's the coolest thing. He's truly an artist. Mike has probably made hundreds of surfboards, but there was one, he told me, that was different from all the others. It was made with aloha for a benefit in my name, and I know Mike poured his heart into it. For those who make Hawaii their home, aloha means much more than a hello and goodbye greeting. It goes way back to the old Hawaiian traditions, and it means a mutual regard and affection of one person for another, without any expectation of something in return. Translation: it means you do something from the pureness of your heart. And it means love. Not just romantic love, but a self-sacrificial kind of love for others. Take the folks from my church. After we got home from resting up in Anahola, we discovered they had come into our house and radically cleaned the place, putting flowers everywhere. It just blew my mind. For 2 weeks, every night, someone showed up with dinner. People kept stopping by, offering to help out in any way they could. I was also really moved by the number of people who wanted to help raise money for my family. At the time, nobody knew how much the hospital bills would be, or even with the health insurance, how much the portion my parents would have to pay. Remember, my dad is a waiter and my mom cleans rental condos, so we don't exactly have a lot of bucks in the bank. Also, people were trying to help get our family set up for any future expenses and the cost of the prosthetic arm. Guesses were that we might eventually need hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the cool thing is, people didn't ask us, they just looked at the situation we were in and said, I want to help this family. They're going to need it. At the fundraiser, people donated over $75,000 to help with our expenses. Can you believe it? We couldn't. It sure made us feel humble and loved. Jill Smith organized the event and had no trouble getting residents of the island to pitch in. The Rip Curl Company dove right into and helped spearhead the event. On Saturday, November 15th, only a few weeks after the attack, hundreds and hundreds of people, it was hard to count as people came and went all afternoon, descended on the Marriott Grand Ballroom for a silent auction that included over 500 items. There were works of art, clothing, and equipment donated from virtually every surf shop on the island, and they filled table after table in the vast hall. Because I was still trying to build up my strength, it was decided that I wouldn't attend, which was kind of a bummer because I am the type of person who never likes to miss a fun party, especially one in my honor. Surf movies played nonstop on the huge screen, and shiny new surfboards, each inviting a high bid, lined the wall, including the one Mike had crafted, and one from the personal collection of world champ and Kauai neighbor Andy Irons. But the donations were not just surf-related. There was a case of fine wine, a music CD collection, a stay at the Princeville Resort, and massages by some of Kauai's professional masseurs. The food was mostly what is called light pupas, which I know sounds gross, but is the Hawaiian word for finger food or small snack type food. The people from Kauai Coffee came in and set up a stand selling different kinds of coffee drinks made from Kauai-grown coffee. On a huge stage, some of the island's most sought-after names performed. Surf legends Titus Kinamaka, Melanie Bilyeu, Kanaloa, Tommy and Malia, and Revival, to name a few. Toward the end of the evening, a special guest stepped onto stage. Rock icon Graham Nash, formerly of the Hollies and the legendary Crosby, Stills and Nash, had come to perform on my behalf. My dad was floored. He told me he hadn't seen the island come together like this for a cause since the aftermath of Hurricane Iniki in 1992, which devastated all of Kauai. Who would have ever thought I would be as important as a natural disaster? There was such an incredible mix of people at the benefit for Bethany Hamilton. 10 young surfers with t-shirts and shorts mingled with bankers, doctors, and real estate agents in their expensive Aloha shirts and slacks. Surf beaters parked next to new Lexus SUVs in the parking lot, and the members of my Honolulu surf team were all there wearing their Friends of Bethany Hamilton t-shirts. They had a picture of me surfing and a gold hibiscus flower, a traditional symbol of Hawaii, on them. More than 2,000 of those t-shirts were printed and all sold out in less than 2 hours. The bidding was fast and furious. 2 guys started a bidding war over a surfboard, and it eventually went for $2,000, the highest single bid of the night. It was unbelievable to think all this money, all these people who came to this hotel that night were here for me. I didn't even know a lot of them, and it made me really think, Why me? I mean, why should I deserve all this? But more than that, it made me think that if I get the chance to help somebody in the future, I, more than ever before, am really going to do it. The folks from my church can see how important it is to pay back to other people the kind of aloha and kindness that people, many of whom I didn't know, paid to me. As an uncomfortable and even embarrassing as it can get having people treat you like you are a serious charity case, the most important thing is to be grateful and to do the same for somebody else when you get the opportunity. The world sends get well wishes. But that aloha spirit wasn't limited to Hawaii. All over America, even all over the world, people were reading news reports or magazine articles about me and were moved to write a note or a card, often slipping in cash and mailing it off to the address that Noah had posted on my website. Children in classrooms sent me crayon drawings and get well soon wishes. My folks, checking their mailbox, were astounded to find thousands of letters awaiting them. How could they possibly read all of them, much less respond? But they tried, finding good wishes along with checks or cash, sometimes hundreds of dollars, sometimes a $5 bill in the envelopes. All of us were stunned by what was happening. We could understand the aloha that was given to us on Kauai. That's what we would have done if this had happened to anyone we knew. But for all this kindness to come from people who had heard about my story from the media, well, we were shocked. In talks around the dinner table, we discussed why this might be happening. I'm a big believer that most people in this world are truly kind, generous, and big-hearted, and this supports my theory. I think they heard about this kid who got her arm bitten off and they wanted simply to help out in some small way. My mom's theory is that there are a lot of people who have a deep faith in God and they wanted to encourage me because I was outspoken about my faith. Dad's take on it? He thinks many people let their problems get them down and walk around with this woe is me attitude. Well, here I come, determined to get back the life that the shark tried to take from me. No woe, just go, go, go. Maybe I gave them the kick they needed to get back on their feet. In the end, we really don't know why so many people wrote, prayed, or gave, but we are very, very grateful for each one of them and their thoughtfulness. One organization, Save Our Seas, heard about what happened to me and heard me say in an interview that if I couldn't surf again, maybe I would take surf pictures. So they offered to train me in video and still photography, as well as get me scuba certified and enrolled in a special course for underwater photography. It was an awesome offer that I still might take them up on when I get a little less busy. For now, I'm just taking things one day at a time. My mom started to keep a big scrapbook with all the articles that were being printed about me. Most of them are pretty accurate and got the basic facts right. Some of the longer articles in magazines actually gave a better picture of all that was going on. A few years from now, it will be fun to pull out that scrapbook and read it. Right now, well, we're still adding pages.